Hello and welcome to this session. Today we are presenting on Framingham heart failure diagnostic criteria. This diagnostic criteria is very vital when you're looking at heart failures. Well, a bit of introduction is heart failure occurs when the heart muscle does not pump blood as well as it should be. Blood often backs up and causes fluid to build up in the lungs and in the legs. The fluid buildup can cause shortness of breath and swelling of the legs and the feet. It's good to know that currently one person dies every 33 seconds in the United States from cardiovascular diseases. Heart failure is one of the leading causes of death in the United States together with associated other non-communicable diseases. In Kenya, heart failure and associated cardiovascular diseases contribute to 4.54% of all total deaths. So, when are you supposed to use the Framingham heart failure diagnostic criteria? Well, when any patient presents with signs and symptoms of heart failure, it could be left-sided, right-sided heart failure. The concern is that minor criteria should only be selected if they cannot be explained by any other comorbidity. For example, dyspnea on exertion secondary to chronic pulmonary disease. You see, we have to rule out the chronic pulmonary disease first. Why should we use this criteria? Saying that heart failure is a clinical diagnosis, so the Framingham criteria offers an acceptable set of criteria to make this diagnosis. We also have other diagnostic criteria like the New York Heart Association, but Framingham is the one that is preferred. So in this criteria, we have the major criteria and minor criteria. For you to diagnose someone to be having heart failure, you need to have two positive signs for the major criteria, or one major and two minor. Looking at the major criteria, you find that on chest x-ray, the patient could be having acute pulmonary edema or cardiomegaly. What about on physical findings? Physical findings will be arrived at through inspection, palpation, percussion, and auscultation. So, on inspection, you find that the patient will be having neck vein distension, and there is normally an increased central venous pressure of greater than 16. On palpation, the patient will be having hepatojugular reflux, and this is when you palpate the liver, there is a corresponding increase in central venous pressure. We have palpation of the auscultation of pulmonary rails. We also have the auscultation of the third heart sounds, that is S3 gallop rhythm. You have the history from the patient. The patient reports of paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea or orthopnea. Also, in case you had initiated this patient on treatment, they normally report a weight loss of greater than 4.5 kilograms in 5 days in response to the treatment. Once the patient presents with two of these criteria, of these two characteristics, then we can easily diagnose the patient as having heart failure. In the other case, we could having minor criteria, where in this case, you require two minor criteria plus one major criteria. So on this minor criteria, you can feel the patient will report dyspnea on exertion, minor activity results into dyspnea. We have nocturnal cough, the patient reports the nocturnal cough. On inspection, you note ankle edema, hepatomegaly on palpation. We have pleural effusion, and lastly tachycardia, that is heart rate, increased heart rate of greater than 120 on auscultation. Remember, for you to diagnose, you must have two major criteria symptoms, or you can have two minor plus one major. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. See you again.